What's up, guys? How you doing? So today's video, I wanted to go over some of the gear requirements that we're going to be needing for both the First Order and the Resistance. So I know that, not everybody, in my opinion, is going to be needed from every single one of these factions because they said and mentioned in another recent post that it's going to include ships as well. And for the gear, it's going to be unique. So, we're going to probably have some people who need really high relics and gear, and we're going to need some people who probably are just needing to be gear 12, maybe even gear 11 if we're lucky. I would probably say just gear 12. So what I'm going to try to do and help you guys here today. So on screen you can see we need First Order, and this is all the First Order we have for the characters. And also we have the Resistance. So out of these two, just briefly before we really go into the requirements, because it's going to be really nice to keep and hoard all of these gears for them, for getting at least one unlocked. I would hope that you guys can get one unlocked. But the thing that I'm kind of upset about a little bit, because Ray is, in my opinion, going to be needed, and really necessary, I guess you could say, for the light side Geonosis TB, because she is going to be Jedi and she's going to be Resistance, because just those two alone, those factions and those tags, they have so much different uses and different spots they can be used in. And she's Galactic Legends. They mentioned that they're kind of be a little bit more plug and play kind of type of tune there. So on screen you can see that we have all the Resistance, and more importantly here, the reason why I'm kind of bummed out about Rey is the new Poe and new Finn. I don't think that these guys will be coming out free to play farmable before the event drops. So if you were to have to need these guys for the new event, you're gonna need to spend some money. But I think for the First Order, they're going to probably give us another month before you can actually, or before the event comes out, so you can farm up a little bit. But the nice thing here is that the event unlocks as soon as you get the requirements done. So you don't have to, make sure that you have everything ready to go when the event comes out. You can try to get it on your own pace, which is great. So with that being said, I'm going to now show you guys some of the gear requirements. I want to give a big shout out to Blade is awesome, but Meow Baka. They just have similar names. Blade Baka, Meow Baka. So Meow Baka, let's swap over. Meow Baka, I saw this in Fatals, or rather, aka the Playbooks Discord server. So shout out to him, shout out to Meow Baka for this. So this is a chart. You can see, let's zoom in a little bit. It has the Resistance Gear 12 requirements, which we're going to see here. It implements and includes, rather, the Gear 12 on the left side piece, the Gear 12 Plus, which is the right side piece, and then the bottom right, the finisher, which is the most recent for getting Gear 13. And that's for Resistance. And then you have down here First Order. So for First Order, there's going to be a few of them. There's 12 requirements, and then, I guess they're the same thing. I didn't notice that. They're the exact same for the amount of people you need. But with all this info, what should you be hoarding? And I think that's a pretty big question. So, as of right now, I am going to say this: between now and then, until the event drops, as we continue getting more of these levels 2, the quests. We're at phase 1 out of 4 right now. We just saw that you're going to need a Resistance Trooper, Finn, and the JTR for Resistance, and then for First Order, you're going to need Crew, Officer, and Stormtrooper. So, what I'm going to just tell you guys right now is always hoard. Out of everybody that we're going to know of that's needed and required, always hoard the most common piece of gear. That's just kind of simple. I think that's kind of a no-brainer type of thing there, I guess you could say. So just always keep that in mind as you're farming and hoarding. So just right off the bat, we're going to chat about the ones that have the most. And just straight off you can see here that the Resistance needs 11 furnaces between all 12 people here, from JTR all the way down to Rose. And hopefully not Rose being needed Gear 13. I really hope not, but it's a possibility. You never know. So you're going to need 11 furnaces, guys. Furnaces are going to be a really big gear crunch gear for this new event. 11 is a lot. Comparing that to First Order, where you only need, Furnace only need 8. So 3 less. So trying to get, let's say you don't have some of these furnaces on anybody, 11 between now and then in 2 months or so, it's pretty much impossible unless you spend some money. But like I said, it all comes back to this event being persistent, and you can do it whenever you want. So 11 furnaces, that's one of the biggest things here. Coming back up to the left side piece, which is a little bit easier to get, I'd say, for the most part, you're going to need a lot of multi-tools, and multi-tools are a bit annoying, but just to briefly go over some of this stuff, I want to kind of show you guys back in game, because this is, I would say, a pretty big part, a pretty big chunk to it when it comes to these pieces for the Gear 12. The left side piece is this. So yeah, you can get these. You get them from raids, TBs and whatnot. And I say those are pretty decently easier to farm. But this piece right here, the purple pieces, when it comes to med packs, they're going to be a pain in the butt, because not only are you going to need them for these left side pieces, but you're also going to need them for some of these other pieces. So like, for example, this is a bad example on Trooper. And him. Where do we go? So I think maybe she does. So yeah. So some of these other med packs that we just saw on the others, you're going to need them here too. And that's pretty awesome, or pretty not awesome. Why would I say that? It's pretty awful. Gosh, I really misspoke there. It's really bad. It's really, really, really bad. And just kind of thinking about this, if I were to kind of focus anything on your ship energy, I would be doing a lot of refreshes on this every single day. Just kind of the way it has to be, guys, if you were to hoard this. And also, I wouldn't probably hoard too much of this piece, but the other piece that is with the multi-tool, this piece right here, you're going to need a little bit of this as well. So I would say just right now, furnaces and those med packs, these ones right here, you're going to need a lot of those, guys, just for resistance. So now coming back over here, we're going to show you some more of the requirements. So yeah, furnaces are a big, huge deal for resistance, guys. I would really focus on that. And more importantly, I think you're going to need a little bit more of those med packs. So that's that. I'm not really going to go too much and chat about the Gear 12 finishers, because I think just from you playing the raids, or I guess rather the TBs, you get a pretty decent chunk of them. And we're going to have, I think, around 4 until the event, because you're going to have 2 raids per month until the event, and the event comes in March. So we'll be fine. We have February and then March. We should be okay for most of these Gear 12 plus, or Gear 12 finisher pieces rather. The only thing here, I guess you can say, is Kairos. But if you were trying to get some of these guys unlocked for the new Ray or Kylo, you gotta just kind of accept the fact that you're going to need to spend some money if you were to get it straight off the bat. If you have most of these guys, or some of these guys already done, maybe you have some Gear 13, maybe you are pretty dang close to Gear 13, you don't have to worry about some of these other pieces. So Chirotechs are one I really wouldn't worry about. You're going to get some just casually from the TWs, TBs, and logging in every day. So I already, without even farming, I already have 150 of the shock prods. So, and you can see there you need 9 of them, which I think it's going to be kind of easy to just accumulate a lot of them over the time from now until then. So I'm not going to go too in depth on the finisher pieces. But now, coming down here to the first order, what do first order need a lot? And it's right off the bat, the one I see that need a lot is the multi-tool. The multi-tool, you're going to need 9. And comparing that to the resistance, you need 9. So you're going to need 18 multi-tools between everybody there. And I'm not gonna say literally everybody here is going to be needed, but we did see in game that you're going to have 13 quests, and what that means to me, you're going to need 13 people, whether that can range from a ship, a character, like whatever it may be. You're going to need some of those. And then coming down here more to the other ones, yet again, the furnaces are going to be annoying. So guys, that's pretty much it. There's other stuff to really chat and hit up on here. I'll leave a link to this and share this to you guys if you want to see it. But really, if you guys just want to take the most needed gear pieces, there's really just 2, maybe 3. The med packs from the left side, and also some of the right side, Gear 12 Plus, you're going to need a lot of those. And then furnaces. You're going to need a lot of furnaces. And the last one I'd say is multi-tools. Everything else you can see here isn't as bad. Most of these you're going to probably just accumulate and have probably a lot anyways, just from already hoarding before you even hoard now. And maybe you already have, like I said earlier, you're probably already have some of these guys, already have some of these Gear 12 on the left sides and the right side pieces. So, yeah, kind of casually farm the Kairos, casually farm the finisher pieces, all that, just casually farm. What I would focus the most on here, though, is the furnaces, the med packs, and the multi-tools. If you can focus those 3 there and have a really, really good chunk, and you don't have to spend too much money, that's huge. I think if day 1 you don't have to spend really anything at all, that's a huge win. Also, what I would consider a huge win on trying to get these guys day 1 is, you know, you might have to spend a couple bucks, not a couple hundred, maybe like $100, maybe like a vault's worth, just to get like the rest of the pieces needed. So you have that, try to get gear 12 plus, and try to unlock gear 13. But now that we see all this, what do you need for gear for the relics? And I don't have really much of this on screen for you guys, but we did in a recent video, we did chat about relics and the amount of signal data that you're going to need. So for example, we already know that you're going to have to need Finn and the Trooper needed Relic 5, same with Officer and Stormtrooper. So I know for a fact, though, that from getting somebody from Relic 1 all the way to 7, that's going to cost you 75 blue pieces of signal data, 115 greens, and also 115 grays. So if you can just try to farm as much as you can on top of farming up those gears that we just went over briefly, that's a huge hoarding point. One last thing before I really end the video today. One other big part I would try to get, if you guys are just hoarding everything and you're kind of buying, or I guess rather with your energies, you're using that, maybe you already have most of these guys done and you don't really have a huge part to do that, I would for sure, first and foremost, be buying Cantina refreshes and doing as many refreshes and attempts there. And then secondly, if you guys are trying to really maximize everything, you're going to have a good decent chunk of extra crystals laying around every so often. So if you guys can, try to buy at least from this weekly shipment, whenever you see it, buy this flawed signal data, the blue one. It's going to help you guys a lot. Everything else, you know, the greens, that has kind of bad drop rates, but I kind of went over this in previous videos. The grays are really, really easy to get. So I have about enough to get 2 people Relic 7 just from the greens. I don't have enough to get 2 from everything else, but on the greens I'm good. So I'm now going to focus more onto the grays and then slowly farm the blues. So, you know, whenever you guys see a pack in the store, if it's like a really good pack, I don't really have any good to show you right now, but I did recently buy a pack for $10 that has a really, really good chunk of signal data and some other relic parts. And if you guys see that pack, I'm not too sure what the exact pack is called, I would for sure buy that. If you guys are trying to, you know, spend a little bit here and a little bit there, and for the most part you're hoarding as much as possible, and you want to really try to get this event without spending too much money, every single time you see a pack like that in the store, I would really buy that or consider buying it. This video is not going to be probably a free-to-play video for most of you guys, but if you guys are trying to do free-to-play, it's going to take you probably a month or 2 afterwards, after the events drop, to get them. I'm really trying to help you guys out for those people who are interested in getting this as soon as it drops. You're going to have to spend some money, like I said, but I'm trying to make this, in this whole video, try to make it so you don't have to spend as much. You know, there's going to be people out there who are Krakens, whales, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't do that. I want to make this as easy as you guys can. Try to focus for those similar pieces. So, you know, I guess just to wrap this up, similar pieces, what does that mean? Well, it's kind of simple. You know, you just look back at the sheet and you just see what ones are similar. So, for example, you know, the Finn here, and you got Troopers. So what do they need? They need 2 of the multi-tools. So then you come down here to the other ones that we know that are going to be needed. First Order Officer and Sith Trooper. And oh, looky here, they also need multi-tools. So there's like a thing where you can just kind of look at, okay, I need to farm more of those because they're needed, you know? And then coming down here to the Gear 12 Plus pieces, you know? Officer, what does he need? He needs a furnace. What does Sith Trooper need? Or Stormtrooper need? He needs another furnace. So then you come back up here, okay, how many furnaces do I need then? Well, Trooper, he needs 1. Or where is it? He needs actually none. And rather Finn needs 1, so you need like 3 there. Which this chart is going to help you guys in figuring out and deciding which gear to farm when, which ones you want to hoard up the most of, and I'm pretty sure this is going to help you a lot. So with that being said, guys, I just want to, you know, just say, hopefully you guys can, you know, hoard as much as possible. Yeah, I would say I'm gonna recommend buying some of those really good packs that have signal data, because between farming all of these gear pieces and signal data, you're gonna be kind of low on some of your crystal income and some of your resources that you would use otherwise. So I think that pack like that is going to be really beneficial to you. As weird as that sounds, I don't promote spending in this game. I really try not to. But when a pack comes like that and you're trying to not spend as much money to get this brand new Galactic Legend character, I think that's a great way to go about it. So yeah, just between concluding this video, between farming and doing that, I would for sure really buy some of the blue ones whenever you see those in the for signal data rather in the shops, in the weekly shipments. And then farming, I would be farming a lot, saving up a lot of your ship shard currency, or the shard shop currency rather. And just doing that, guys, I think that will really help you out a lot between now and then. A couple more months, you guys should be good. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like, share it around, and if you guys are new to the channel, feel free to sub. I do a lot of different videos covering this game, and hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I think this is going to be kind of nice to use as a kind of guideline. And with that being said, we also have a Patreon and also channel memberships if you guys want to go check out that to support me if you guys do feel like it. We also lastly have a Discord too if you guys want to go check that out and chat away with me and everybody else. Thank you guys for watching it again, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.